Okay, it's Dana Carvey's turn to bring one of his comedies into the face of Hollywood. How delightful. Yo, what is up, my Cinedroids? G to the S here. Today, I'm going to be reviewing The Master of Disguise, starring, like I mentioned earlier, Dana Carvey, who plays a character named Pistachio Disguisey. What a clever name. Anywho, he's a genial waiter at his father's Fabbrizio's pizzeria joint, played by James Brolin, who possesses an uncanny knack for mimicry. What he doesn't know is that his talent is genetic, and that he is descendant of a long line of master disguise, all of whom have inherited a secret family gift known as Energico. Initially, Pistachio is a klutz. No shocker there. But little by little, he learns to harness his inherited power and sails forth to utilize Energico to his fullest. Man, oh man, where do I begin with this Sporefest? Let's start with the character development, the movie's humor, and the storyline for this movie. Right off the bat, in terms of the movie's story and how it was executed on screen, not only is it boring to sit through, but like everyone else has said in their reviews, there's nothing exciting or intriguing happening whatsoever. All it's about is that there's this dumb doofus, Dana Carvey's character, who works in a pizzeria restaurant somewhere in the US. I'm gonna take a wild guess and say that it's in the middle of LA. And both his parents have been kidnapped by a villain named Devlin Bowman, played by Brent Spiner, and he is summoned to learn the art of the Master of Disguise, hence the obvious title of the movie, by his mentor, who's also his grandfather, played by the late Harold Gold, and his love interest, Jennifer Baker, played by Jennifer Esposito, because what's a comedy without those, am I right? Anywho, throughout this whole movie, he has to learn how to become the Master of Disguise so he can save both his parents and become the true hero by the movie's end. Or even worse, why not just take a page out of all the hero's journey tactics? Like, from Star Wars for one. But let's also rip off Harry Potter, which I will touch on reviewing sooner on my schedule. All of the movies. And if that's not enough, let's rip off elements from The Lord of the Rings, where we have a mentor type character recruiting him to save the world from evil taking over. It just goes all over the place. And in terms of how they developed the characters shown on screen, it was not properly handled at all. I mean, it's Sony, for crying out loud. They're always responsible for making content like this, be it comedy, adventure, drama, and action films. But sometimes, every once in a while, they make some treasured hallmarks that are really good. Like, I heard the movie Fly Away Home was excellent. I'll check that out sooner on my schedule. And this is more of a recent movie compared to a movie that I'm talking about that came out 20 years ago, but I don't care. It deserves to be recognized. But I thought Spider-Man No Way Home was really good. It does play off the nostalgia of both the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man universe and the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man universe meshed together, but they don't make it so blatant and in your face all the time. It was weaved into the plot of what this film's clearly about. Peter Parker's identity is revealed to the people of New York, and now he has to make sure that everyone forgets that he's Spider-Man, with the help of Doctor Strange, of course. That's all there is to it. But they make it fun and enticing that kept me engaged throughout these characters in that movie. It was done superbly well. In this movie, they never take their time to make the characters fleshed out and memorable at the very least. They have all these character traits that felt very cookie cutter and garish to watch. One's the doofus, the other's the love interest, the other's the wise mentor, the other's the villain, and the extras in the movie are just your average generic extras that don't do much in the film whatsoever. That's all this movie has to offer. Nothing much else. I also thought the direction coaching from some guy named Perry Andlin Blake was cringy to watch. In terms of the movie's comedic humor, which is what I always despise in movies like this. You guys know this. You've been hanging around with me for quite a long time. But Dana Carvey's weird Italian accent in this movie, and him making these weird faces, it's just like that one individual you just can't stand being around with, who just gets on your nerves. And you just wish that you would just stay away from that person. Like, there was this one time where I went to the bus to get to my job, and this one guy who just keeps following me keeps egging me on for reasons I have yet to know. Like, I was on my phone watching something on YouTube while I'm sitting at my local bus stop waiting for my ride to show up. And while I was watching, this one guy keeps tapping on my shoulder for just a stupid question. And when I was on the bus, the guy went on the bus with me. But once he got to his destination, I'm assuming he's already lost or kidnapped or something or other. But not once had I seen that guy ever again. And good riddance for him too, because I just can't stand that guy. He reminds me of my cousin. But that's what this movie is for me. Also, the jokes, puns, and references in this movie are just as worse and lame to watch as a Mike Myers comedy. Which, coincidentally enough, I heard that Dana Carvey worked with Mike Myers before in a movie called Wayne's World, which I will touch on reviewing sooner on my schedule, which I heard from some people say that it's a bit mixed. Some people liked it, some hated it. We'll see. Time will tell once I watch it. Anyways, back to what I'm supposed to be talking about. I also thought the CGI, as well as the movie's use of visual and practical effects, look ludicrous as well. I mean, there's not that much CGI and practical visual effects in this movie that it has to offer, but whenever they do show up, they're either boring to watch, or they're cheesy to look at. Either way, the end result is, I don't care about them. They're both lame to watch. Even the Kim Morgan cinematography in this movie doesn't have that much to offer either. All it's showing us is boring camera pans and camera zooms throughout the whole feature that almost makes me fall asleep. Overall, guys, in the end, I think you can surmise how I feel about The Master of Disguise. It was boring, it was cringy, it was dumb, and it's another one of those examples where you try to be funny, but you linger on the jokes for too long, and as a result, you squander any effort into putting your comedic skills to the test. I heard he was funny on SNL, but that's just about it. In short, I was stone-faced throughout this whole feature, and as a result, I rate The Master of Disguise a 0 out of 5 stars. That's 4 bad movies in total that I gave a 0-star grade. Come on, Hollywood. You're better than this. When will you stop treating us like we're idiots for once? You're taking our hard-earned money for crap like this. Please end that trend for all that is right and just. I can't stand it anymore. So, The Master of Disguise. You've seen it, right? Well, let me know in the comments what's a comedy that you can think of that is so boring that it makes you want to fall asleep, just like this movie made me. I would love to hear your answers down below this review. Go wild and get creative. But if you like this video and you want to see some more, make sure that like button shines in your face. That'll totally help me out a ton. Also, share it with your family and friends and favorite it. That's a very good way to show support for this review. Also, if you're new to my channel, make sure to subscribe and ring that bell right next to you so you can be notified of future videos that I have in store for you. Also, if you want a shout out in a future video, just follow me on both Instagram and Twitter, and I will choose one of my Cinedroids to be displayed as a shout out. The link's in the description below. And also, I have a TikTok account for you guys where I do whistle covers as well as duets with my sister every once in a while as well. So if you guys are interested, the link's also down in the description of this video. Also, if you want to subscribe to my gaming channel, there's either a link in the description or at the icon card at the top right corner of your screen. Go over there, subscribe, and let's just have fun together. But until then, I'll see you next time. Peace out.